I'm Vaughn. Like everyone on social media, I'm different people in different places. On Facebook, I'm who I used to be. Good old Top Gun bloody Air Force pilot. On LinkedIn, I'm really professional, and you can tell because there's buttons on that shirt, flash as. And on Twitter, I'm sort of a bit of everything. Sort of, you know, bit of my personal life, bit of my business, the goat farm, bit of my actual goats. That's a goat. See it poking up there? Little goat. I didn't even know this thing had a red little spot of death on there. I would have done, you know, remember Battlestar Galactica? I would have, you know, wah, wah, wah. That was funny. I'll do. Okay. Also, of course, I'm a social media expert because I printed out a certificate the other day off my dot matrix printer. And I would contend that this is as valid a social media qualification as you can get anywhere. It's one of those things that really, you know, in the words of Richard Branson's, you know, screw it, just do it. And I'll talk about that a bit more as we go on. Today, I'm not going to talk for very long, but I'm going to talk about a really simple idea I've got in my head, which is a recipe for social media success. I guess it's a Hugh Fearnley-Whittingstall recipe because he believes in eating the whole beast. It only has 3 ingredients, this recipe, and here they are. Yum. You've heard of the Mad Butcher, right? This is from the really fucked up butcher. The 3 ingredients for social media success, in my opinion, are, number 1, heart. Okay? I think it is absolutely, absolutely critical if you as a brand, and I guess also as an individual, to succeed in social media, it's critical that you know who you are, you believe in what you do, and everyone in your organization feels the same way. And the reason is this. Old style advertising, and you know, I'm guilty of committing old style advertising in the past and still do. I'm sure all of us have been guilty of old style advertising at one time in our lives. Used to be pretty much this: find a big wall, get a bucket of paint, and splash on that wall what's great about your company. Okay? The bigger the wall, the brighter the paint, and the more compelling the thing you have to say, the more effective the advertising would be. Social media turns that round and pokes a whole lot of windows in those walls. Okay, so instead of just seeing what's on the outside of the company or the outside of the brand, everyone outside can now pretty much communicate and connect with everyone inside, which is pretty interesting and exciting and challenging. I mean, for some companies, I'll move over here because you guys can't see much. I'll oscillate. Is that okay, camera guy? Cool. Oh, I know you guys can't see much, which might be good. I haven't changed. I'm just how I was over there. So you can, I mean, you've got these windows in your walls. The response to this can be one of 2 things. You can either say, oh shit, okay, people can see in the windows and they can talk to our people directly. We can do this. We can make a policy about who sits next to the windows. Okay? You're only allowed to sit in the window if you're in the window sitting department and you've done your sitting by the window course. The windows will only be open from 8 to 5, and if there's a curly question comes in the window, you've got to close the window, go upstairs, get the answer, come back down, open the window, see if the person's still there and answer. Which is pretty much a social media policy. There's at least one nod, that's cool. You got my metaphor, lovely. Or you can do what I think is the more exciting and challenging thing and say, well, maybe if everyone's seeing in, we should take this as a really compelling reason to get our shit together. Maybe we're going to have to accept that these conversations are going to happen, not try and shut them down, not try and control them, but just take that as an imperative as business owners and brand owners to make sure everyone in our building, our wider building, knows who we are, what we're doing, why we're here, and can speak freely. And that's what Heart's about. Oh. A really good example of this is the way that social media has given me as a voter and as a New Zealander the opportunity to not just watch party political ads or read the leaflet that gets sent through my letterbox, let politicians kiss my baby, but communicate directly with them. And not only that, see them communicating with each other. I think it's a really, really exciting thing. And when you try and shut it down and moderate it and control it, it just becomes a little less appealing. So typically the higher you go up the political chain, the less free these people are with their comments and their, the speed of the response. But down at the front line, it can be really interesting. A really good example of people knowing what they're about and speaking freely about it. Here's another example. Has anyone ever heard of a guy called Ramon de Leon? You've got to find this guy. You've got to hunt him down. Ramon de Leon is and was a pizza franchisee from Domino's, Yum Yum Domino's, shit pizzas, in Chicago. And so many people complained about his pizzas and what they tasted like and the speed with which they arrived, that he decided to deal with it through social media. He got a lot of complaints through social media, and he put in a lot of response through social media. This guy is now, I don't know how he finds time to make pizzas. He's on the worldwide social media speaking circuit. He's a rock star. But this is one of the first things he did.
Hey, what's up, world? This is DPC Ramon, and right now I'm here with Ernesto Arroyo, better known as Junior, and we're at our Domino's Pizza store in Lincoln Park at 2231 North Lincoln Avenue. The reason that we're here today is I wanted to send a video message as an apology to Amy Corrin. I hope I didn't get that last name wrong, but known as Interactive Amy.
So we'll turn the volume down and I'll keep talking. This is the guy on the right's the guy that screwed up. You can just see the poor guy who's looking there. But yeah, I'm sorry, Ramon. I'm sorry. But he went on to apologise to Amy, who tweeted that night that her pizza arrived wrong and arrived late. And he could have just rung her up and said, yeah, sorry, but there's a saying which is sort of gaining some currency, and it's to fight social media fire with social media water. He did this. This thing got tens of thousands of views, built his brand, and now he is the guy for pizza in Chicago. And he did it because he was able to do it because he believed in what he was about, he believed in who he was, and he wasn't scared just to get someone else in the pizza restaurant, point the camera at him, and just roll. One take, away you go. Absolutely authentic. Didn't go through head office. They were a bit pissed off about it, but they realized eventually that it was all good. Ramon, and he's trademarked the phrase Ramon Wow. So he now specializes in Ramon Wow. I think the closest equivalent to Ramon in Auckland would be a guy called Giapo. You all been to see Giapo up at Queen Street? Very, very similar wacky personalities. There we go. Second ingredient. The second ingredient in the fucked up butcher buffet is brains. It's sort of about the awful Wizard of Oz, really, isn't it? Absolutely critical to have brains somewhere in your social media marketing mix.